Hi everyone, and welcome to today's German Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. So much heartbreak on today's episode, so let's just get right to it and let's not cry, although it's not stuff I'm particularly devastated about. But let's get to it. At Dante's place, formerly Lante's, but someone is... Anyway, Olivia, as you can imagine, is not happy that Valerie is alone with Rocco. She tells Valerie that she resents her ruining her son's marriage, and Valerie's like, it took 3 people to do that. Yeah, okay, but, particularly you, you know? Dante walks in, and Olivia's like, what are you doing? Can't you see she's trying to take Lulu's place? Thank you, Olivia. Finally, someone just telling it as it is to his face. Olivia brings up that Valerie is trying to take advantage, and Dante defends Valerie because he's an idiot. I'm sorry, that was mean, but seriously. And Olivia tells him he owes it to Rocco for he and Lulu to put their differences aside and get back together. And he tries to call her a hypocrite because he's like, well, you raised me as a single mom. And she's like, yeah, except I was a teenager and me and Sonny never committed to stay together. Me and Julian never committed to stay together. You and Lulu got married, made a lifelong commitment, and you owe it to yourselves to try to see that through. And I agree with her. It's different if both parties, like, honestly do not want to be together. It doesn't work out. It's toxic. It's, you know, it's bad. But in their case, it's not. It's just they're in a hard spot right now. And Lulu wants to reconcile. He wants to reconcile. They were just on a little bit of different, you know, time streams. And then he had to go, I don't know, right back to bed with Valerie. There's no other way to say it. Olivia points out that the separation papers are because Lulu was hurt and humiliated and she's lashing out. And of course she is. I mean, hello. And it's not going to help things if he's playing house with Valerie. And Olivia tells Valerie to bow out now. She leaves with some words of wisdom that he'll regret throwing away his family for the rest of his life, which he will. Valerie asks if he wants her to stay or go. Okay, the right thing would be to just go. You don't ask. You just be like, I'm leaving now. Anyway. At the Haunted Star, Dylan wants to call the cops. Johnny says, if you call the cops, then Lulu will be an accessory. Or I'll say I took Lulu hostage, and then you'll have to lie, Lulu will have to lie. It'll just be a whole big mess. And Dylan brings up, like, goes through a line of the things Johnny does, you know, has done. You know, killing his father, and then blaming it on Luke and Tracy. I don't know, other stuff he's done. And Johnny, like... he like has an answer for everything, and it's actually pretty funny. I love Johnny. I missed him so much. And Lulu says, you owe me for what you did, and that's why you'll keep quiet. And he agrees reluctantly. Lulu calls the Valerie plan off. She's like, it won't help anything. It can't go back in time. Olivia shows up. She tells her Valerie was looking after Rocco alone, and she thinks this whole thing is getting out of hand if someone doesn't take action. Love you, Olivia. At Patrick's, Sam tells Patrick she loves him, and he's like, I know, but you love Jason. You know, I know you love me, but you love Jason. And she's overwhelmed and wants more time to process everything. But, you know, Emma's headed home. Sam says she still wants to marry Patrick. He doesn't want to let their love become bitter because he liked her before he loved her. And I think they were better as friends. He was a little possessive as, you know, a significant other, at least with her. And she gives her ring back. She says he deserves someone who can give him their whole heart and not just a part of it. And he says he doesn't blame her and it's not her fault. Emma comes home early, and turns out she was faking being sick because she wanted to find out when Sam and Patrick were getting married. Oh, who's gonna tell her? Sam tells Emma that they're not getting married and they're splitting up. Patrick steps in to help her, to help explain. And Emma obviously gets so upset. Personally, I blame Elizabeth because, Emma only got so bonded to Sam because of all this time they've had together that anyway. I'll just blame Elizabeth for everything from now until like 4 months from now. Emma starts yelling, lashing out, and tells Sam to leave, and then she like wants her mom. She's like, I want mom right now. Get her for me. speaking of Robin, Jerry Jacks is involved. Oh my goodness, because he's always involved in everything. Robin now knows Helene is dead. He says she's not making progress fast enough, and she was tasked with keeping Helena alive. He says her time's run out, and to come up with like immortality or something ridiculous. She says she has an alternative, but she needs Helena's body to test it. He says no, and it's time to wrap things up. Robin promises not to tell anyone he was involved. If he lets her go home. He says maybe if you didn't have such annoying parents, She begs him not to kill her, to let her keep working, if anything else. Emma calls Robin, and she's so upset and she wants her to come home now, and the whole thing is just really, really heartbreaking. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, at Elizabeth's place. Okay, so Elizabeth crumbles and tells him she knew who he was. She doesn't really have a choice at that point. I mean, he point blank asked her, and she was in a literal corner. He asks when she found out, and she tells him at the nurses' ball back in May. He brings up how they slept together that night, and how he felt so lucky because that night, that's when she suddenly decided to give him a chance and to kick Rick to the curb. And now he knows why. He does say, "You trapped me, you kept me for my whole life." She says she was going to tell everyone he was Jason the night of the nurses' ball, but she didn't want to blow up Sam and Patrick's little family, and he calls her on her lies and says she didn't do it for anyone but herself, so stop using other people as an excuse. She wanted to tell him the truth, but something just kept getting in the way. He asked if she was gonna keep him from Danny, his wife, and his wife and kid. And she brings up Jake and how then he kind of turns it on her and says, you were keeping him from me, like that he was my son, like you weren't ever going to tell me that he was my son. And he's angry about that and how confused Jake was, because Jake's like, "You're my father," and he was like, "No, I'm not." So like he brings that up. She apologizes, so now everything's okay. Just kidding. He's like, "You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry that I defended you in front of everyone who warned you about me. Who warned me about you." It's just a lot. He brings up everyone she hurt, his family, not just Sam and Danny, but like his family, and how could she do this to them? And she says she was afraid that she would lose him. Sorry. He points out that he stayed with her the whole time he knew he was Jason, and nothing happened between him and Sam the whole time he knew he was Jason. And then she takes that to mean something that he wasn't going for, and she's like, "Okay, so now you can divorce Sam and we can still get married. Because now you know I did the wrong things for the right reasons and there's no more lies." Is she delusional? She says that she loves him, and he says, "You took my choices away. How can you say you love me? You never even gave me a chance. You didn't trust me to stay with you." And he says, "Admitting everything now is too late." At the end scene, oh my goodness, Johnny comes back in. Lulu reconsidered. She said he could stay there for a while and make Valerie go away. Love it. Valerie leaves and says Olivia both gave them a lot to think about. And Dante, after she leaves, he's like in the doorway, and he says to himself, "What the hell am I doing? What happened to my family? What happened to my life? You, Dante, you happened." And Valerie, yeah, Lulu told a lie. I know. And she might have had really good reason. She did. She had a really good reason not to tell him the truth. It wasn't him personally. It was that he was a cop. But let's not forget, Valerie was the one who saw Lulu and Dylan hug and ran off to Dante to tell him her suspicions about the two of them. So this whole thing really did start with Valerie. Just saying. Jerry gives Robin 48 hours to deliver a successful product. Sam leaves with her stuff. Her and Patrick really do wish each other well. Emma is breaking down and she says she needs her mom. And Patrick says they'll go to Paris and find Robin. Liz says she did what she did out of love and tries not to let Jason leave. He says the lies aren't his idea of happiness. And he says he did love her, but the woman he loved isn't any more real than Jake Doe. And he leaves on his motorcycle. And in that moment, we were all so happy because this is what we've been waiting for since the Jason reveal, and before that for like a year. So, yay! All is right with the world now, and we can go into our holidays optimistic, I think. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It would mean so much. And also, if you're looking for a charity to be charitable this holiday season, because I'm so good at talking, if you could check out, I have a link down in the description. We're trying to help save our animal sanctuary, and even if you could just donate $1, it would mean so much. I can't reiterate that enough. It really would mean the world. We're a small charity, and every bit helps. Thank you so much for everything, and I will see you tomorrow, because it is only Thursday, so I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day.